Well, home buyers and homeowners across the country have been waiting and hoping for a housing recovery, but mortgage rates are now spiking. That's right, mortgage rates are going up, and there's fear that could put the skids on the home market at the worst time. Dani Babb is the author of the book, The Accidental Landlord. She's here in New York with me, and Amy Batinsky is with Zillow.com in Seattle. It's a real estate website with a lot of fantastic information. Thanks, both of you, for joining me. Dani, I want to ask you first about these rising mortgage rates. I want to ask both of you about the rising mortgage rates, because anybody who's looking to buy a home or refinance a home has noticed that things have really changed over the past week and a half. In fact, on April 1st, the mortgage rate was about 5.13%. By June 10th, it was 5.95%. The difference, the monthly payment difference in that on sort of your average mortgage would be like $129 a month. That is real money for people and could be enough to give people pause to either refinance or to buy a home.
It could. It very well could. It's actually going to affect the jumbo market even more, where that spread is both larger and the value of the home is bigger as well. But there is one upside here, and that is you may save it in property taxes because the value of the home is lower. So we have to look at both sides of the equation. Unfortunately, jobs are also keeping people fearful and on the fence as well.
Amy, let me ask you, are higher mortgage rates a problem here? I mean, is the window closing for those first-time home buyers who want to take their $8,000 tax credit? They want to take home prices that are down 30% in some cases, and they want to take really low mortgage rates, and that combination is perfect for them right now.
Well, certainly higher mortgage rates will hold some people back, but home prices continue to decline. There are more distressed properties on the market, like foreclosures and short sales, that are driving prices down further. So for a lot of first-time home buyers, the further drops in home prices are still enough to stimulate them to get out there. To put some perspective, these mortgage rates, they're high compared to the last 6 months, but they're where they were a year ago, and they're very consistent with where they've been over the last 6 years. So for a lot of buyers, they're where they should be or where they can be for them to buy as long as prices keep dropping.
If you're a first-time home buyer, you can be pretty nervous here, but there are a lot of reasons still to buy a house right now. Am I right? I mean, there are a lot of reasons out there.
There are a ton of them. First of all, the 2 or 3.5% FHA down that you may qualify for, you may very well in the next couple weeks may be able to use that $8,000 tax credit as part of your down payment. That very well may cover the down payment on some of these homes, which means you may get in with actually $0 down. You have incredible amount of inventory. You've got short sales, foreclosures, which are selling for, like we talked about, 10 to 20 cents on the dollar in some areas. And people have to remember that this is the 80-20 rule at play. 77% of the foreclosures are coming from 20% of the states. So not all areas are bad. You just have to do your homework. It's a great time.
I want to get both of you to weigh in here on refinancing for a minute, because we have, Allie and I have a lot of fans on Facebook who ask us pretty specific questions. And I want to talk about something that Ryan sent us to on Facebook. He wanted to specifically know about refinancing. He wants to know if we can talk about the refinancing process and at what point it makes sense for a homeowner. I think it might be good to go over some of these rules of thumb again. He wants to know specifically, how long you need to stay in the house, how does your current mortgage rate compare with what you'll be getting, and the closing costs. At what point is it worth it to be refinancing, especially as these mortgage rates are going up? Amy, you want to weigh in a little bit for Ryan on if he's considering refinancing right here, what makes it a good deal and a good time?
So what he and anyone want to look at is the break-even point. So when you refinance, there are costs up front, and you either pay those or those go to the balance of the loan. But you're going to save money on the monthly payment. So you want to figure out where that break-even point is. So for example, let's say you're paying $10,000 up front, or that's going onto the balance of the loan, but you're saving $500 every month on your monthly payment. Doing the math there, it tells you that you'll break even in 20 months. So if you're going to stay in that home 10 years, it makes great sense. It's a great idea to refinance. If you're planning to move in 2 years, it's not so good of an idea, because you may not hit that break-even point, or you may only hit it for a couple of months.
Anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, well, she's exactly right. And remember, too, out there, the closing costs are negotiable. The origination fees, closing costs, and appraisal fees are often the highest. Some banks are doing them for $0. Get good faith estimates from multiple banks so that you can really do a good analysis.
And so push back on the closing. Push back and say that, okay, that's really good advice.
Yeah, you can compare. You can give 2 lenders. Hey, these are the good faith estimates from 2 lenders. I want to go with you, but you're just not the cheapest.
Bottom line for both of you, mortgage rates are rising, but if you are a first-time home buyer, yes, this is the time. Okay, Amy Batinsky, thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Amy.
I was just going to say, and for first-time home buyers, one thing very important to think about, though, staying in the home. We're not in a time anymore where you can buy and sell in a couple of years. Think about being there for 7 years or more, and it can be a very great time to buy.
Good advice, and that is, those days are over, aren't they? Those days are over, everybody, and I think it might be better for all of us. Dani Babb, author of The Accidental Landlord, and Amy Batinsky from Zillow.com in Seattle. Thank you, ladies.